She's controlling them.
Scroll girl, take a swipe. Old comic relief fat lady, do a sweep kick. Middle-aged office lady, break a bottle and attempt to stab Usagi.
Break the secret bottle of Jack we got hidden in the back. And stab this kid.
Don't talk to me until I've had my morning Jack and Jules.
Jack and Jules.
If you don't bring your Jack when you're going jewelry shopping, are you even jewelry shopping?
Sailor Moon? What is that?
We didn't have big box set DVDs, but I paid $30 for 2 episodes of anime, and we liked it.
In 1969, the first man stepped on the moon.
Yes, that song, which I hate.
Fake fan alert.
In Japan, it aired in 1992.
The biggest action show in 25 years.
A pitch to bring Sailor Moon to North America.
Known as Saban Moon.
Before I learned about Beautiful Joe and Henshin Agogo, baby.
No.
But I don't understand one thing.
The panty shot.
If you keep your grades on, this thing's getting you beautiful.
I like them thick, says Mintoki. Shut the fuck up, she gets the holy grail.
Okay, guys.
What? You poor editor.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pretty Guardian Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly, and joining me today is...
Hi, I'm Harrison, or Harry, whichever you prefer.
Michael.
Hi.
Form of water.
Hi, I'm Heather.
We're all here.
Am I doing it right?
Shape of...
Yeah.
Sailor Moon, yeah. That's, Now you're thinking like Saban.
Yeah, exactly. To give everyone a background,
This is not the Saban Moon podcast. This is the Sailor Moon podcast.
No matter what we sound like, Kelly is the big fan of Sailor Moon who is leading all of us bravely through this, as I have found out, very, very deep ocean of content.
Yes. He did not know what he was getting himself into.
Harrison
I don't think.
gets a free pass because he's married to her.
Yes. I'm a fan by marriage.
I like trying all new things, and I am along for the ride, but otherwise uninitiated. I saw Sailor Moon as a kid. I have nice little memories that are getting shattered every day.
Absolutely.
I saw Sailor Moon as a kid and liked it and grew up and
Have you seen all of it, or like have you seen parts or a couple seasons? Do you know?
It's been a while
curious.
since I've seen it.
Okay.
I mean, I know I've seen most of it, but it's been a while since I've seen it.
Have you ever seen like season 5 or anything like that? The
I
ones
don't.
that weren't aired
Yeah,
in the
we're
US?
still fake
I
fans,
don't
Heather.
remember. No, I
not
don't
at all.
remember.
Okay.
I may have,
You
but it's been a while.
probably haven't then if you don't remember.
All right.
My memory is shot.
Well, the basic
No,
premise
it's just
yeah.
of what we want to do here is cover all Sailor Moon content. We're going to start off by watching the anime with our friends so they can...
the 90s anime, but we're gonna watch the new dub and
The
not
new Viz dub,
the
yes.
new Viz
Yes.
dub and not the Deke
I
dub.
know you all love Deke. I love Deke too.
I grew up with the Deke dub,
I
so
did
I
too.
know it and I love it, but
grew
we're
up
gonna
with
watch
the
the
dub.
good dub because
gonna-
the Deke dub is rough.
We're going to try to get the best story possible. We will eventually cover things like the manga and Crystal and stuff like that, but for now...
And even the live action and even some musicals because I love them.
The plan is to go by episode of the entire series. Every episode, we're not skipping filler, we're not doing things. We'll probably try to do 2-parters together when it comes time for that.
Yeah, there are some 2-parters.
The premise is to say hello, we're going to go and watch the episode, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it with y'all.
And for any who didn't, on the Very Hairy podcast, where Harrison leads us through general discussions of media, and we all watch movies and games and crap.
Yes.
We did, I guess, essentially a pilot Sailor Moon episode of an hour and 15 minutes of showing me all the crap lying on this table.
Still
Talk about
sitting
Sailor
here.
Moon as a franchise.
I see Crystal, I see S, stars, V, I see
Sailor V.
live action. I know we watched live action trailers. We watched a sizzle for Deke to pick this up.
We
Because
did.
in 1969, man first landed on the moon.
So if you're curious to hear that, go to that podcast and you can hear that episode where we talked about all of this.
The origin of this
But we're going to go over all of it in this podcast.
The origin of this coming to America is just straight memes.
It is. We should make some. Do not steal. We'll get some social media. We'll plug it in later. We're going to get that kicked up for y'all. Over the Very Hairy Podcast umbrella in general, but also just for our Pretty Garlian podcast. We'll have pictures from the episode, things like that, little things we might reference. We're thinking maybe Twitter, Tumblr, things like that. We'll let you know when we get there.
Yes.
But for now,
this is episode 1, The Crybaby Usagi's Beautiful Transformation.
Yeah, we're going episode names.
when did it originally air?
Yeah.
1992 in Japan.
Okay.
March 7th, 1992 in Japan. In the U.S. is August 28th, 1995.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, we'll be on the 30th anniversary of Sailor Moon.
Almost 2 years before Doom came out.
In the Deke dub, they just called this episode A Moon Stars Born.
Oh. Mercy.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Well,
It
gang,
sounds rough.
let's pause it
Rough.
and go see the first episode. Do we want to say something dorky before we leave? Have a cadence or moon prism makeup or anything like that?
In the name of justice, we shall punish you.
That is
In the
not
name
how
of
it
the
goes.
moon.
I know. I'm joking.
Shall?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Can you come up, Ted?
closest
Oh,
I got-
Shokyo.
The closest that we got, like Brett's house, we got the Power Rangers shot glasses. It's morphin' time!
Oh, yeah.
And then like we do our transformations and then we take the shot.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
by the end of the season, we'll definitely know who's whom amongst the group
Yes.
and which senshi we represent.
Yeah,
the
which
best.
century is? Which
I
century
think I
we
know.
are?
I think I know which one everyone is, but we'll see.
I mean, you should know me already, but, you know.
Yes.
And Heather, probably, yeah.
Despite how you're born and your height
I
and
know.
your
I know.
star sign
I know.
and your hair color.
It's a lot.
Anyway, we're gonna start watching the episode, and we'll see y'all soon.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
And we're back.
Oh man.
Just watched the first episode of Sailor Moon.
Which I did find out that I have seen before as an adult. However, we watched the Deke dub that time.
Yes, this
That
is
was,
the
that was
new
almost
dub.
a year ago.
The Deekdom was on also last night.
It was on last night, but the last time I sat down
Yes.
was around
Actually
Christmas
watched
last
it.
year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, differences. It's a good dub compared to animation. And compared to animation, that's definitely of its time, and it holds up. But you can tell it's from
Yes.
an era of earlier budgets
You
and
can tell it's from 92.
and scopes.
Yeah.
Despite that, the conversation feels much more organic. It's not like we're going to be
Yes.
very stilted because we don't know how to deal with lip flaps yet. 'Cause we're
Yeah.
early 90s and late
Tell
90s.
they've gotten
America.
a lot better at dubbing anime now.
So we got going where we're going. So we open on a bed. I've never seen a pattern like that before with little moon bunnies hopping around on a big blanket.
Never.
Me and Kelly have that.
What is it?
Have her bed set for
No, we
pillowcases.
have pillowcases that have that set on. That's why
Yes.
he's making a joke.
I see it every morning. When I wake up, it's a nice little Sailor Moon bed set we got.
Yeah, it's cute.
Get it at box lunch, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe, and now she's no longer Serena. She's properly Usagi. She's going by. We've gotten all the Japanese names back.
Yep.
Did you have a question when she was in bed? I feel like you were asking something.
I think.
Was it all the ribbons?
I think
in
you
her
said
hair?
something. I was like, because she's sleeping with the buns in her hair. I'm like, who would sleep with the
Yeah,
buns?
I know.
Forget it.
It's anime.
Don't worry,
It's just-
you'll see her with her hair down eventually.
Yeah, you do get to actually
Yes.
see her with the hair down a couple times.
Wow.
But yeah.
So I'm going to say this in quotations because it still doesn't, despite her looking small and everything, it still doesn't really apply. She's our 14-year-old protagonist.
Yeah. Air quotes, 14-year-old protagonist.
Especially later on when she's clearly a young 20-something. But she's 16.
Are we talking about like her transformations and disguises?
Just in general. Well, the
or are we
disguises
talking
will be
about like her
different.
proportions and
In this first episode, she kind of looks like a 14-year-old, but still not.
she's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it.
And
I
she
think
acts like
I
a
think
kid.
it eventually. She acts like a kid for sure, but I think it eventually approaches like not quite JoJo territory of I'm your average 14-year-old boy,
But I'm 6'3" and
Yeah.
sorry, exactly 180 centimeters tall.
So
Yeah.
83.
Well, we didn't talk about the theme song first.
oh, okay. talk about the theme song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
say that.
They went
Very different than the Deke
just
did.
like
Yeah.
you showed me. Again, just like in the quote air quotes pilot episode of the Very Hairy podcast where we branched off for some Sailor Moon.
Yes.
You mentioned you hate
I do.
the opening
hate
that
it.
everyone knows.
I hate it.
Fighting Evil by Moonlight. And you're right, it is completely different lyrics.
It's not even close.
Even
to
like different rhythm with like certain parts and stuff like
it's
that.
not even close to
In
what.
fact, if I listen correctly on one of my very few listenings for today, in this opening, which they kept from I assume the Japanese run,
Yes.
there's even like a little section of the song that's cut out of the American version,
Yep.
the original, like the Deke airing.
They don't do a little call out in the different section
God.
or anything. It's all new animation. It's not like stuff.
Yeah, they don't reuse
freeze
shots from the show.
Yeah. So it's man.
So
I
and
love
it's
it.
all original. Yeah, like I said, original animation. Very Van Gogh.
Well, no, I was gonna say that's the one thing I always forgot. Like when you showed me last year, it's like, what the fuck is that Van Gogh's Starry Night like, scrolling in the background?
And don't forget that Mamoru is the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh yeah, that
I
weird
mean,
mask.
Tuxedo Mask is the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
I don't know who Mamoru is or how he's in relation to
Mamoru is what?
Tuxedo Mask. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess episode 1's not supposed to show you that yet.
Yeah,
right?
we're.
I mean,
Let's go way back in the time capsule.
fairly
So-
opposite, obvious, but yes.
It opens up. Is there a more classic anime opening than how Sailor Moon opens?
Well, on the bed.
She
Off
waits
the bed,
for
late for
You
school.
forgot your lunch.
She didn't have the piece of toast.
Yeah, but you fucked up your test. Go stand out in the hall.
It wasn't her first day though, so it wasn't, "Hi, my name is Zusuyu Zukino.
Yeah,
This is
she's
my first
everything
day
but
of."
a transfer student.
Yes.
She does have the voiceover intro though. Like
Oh, yeah.
my name is like I'm kind of a crybaby.
I'm 14 years old and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
much of a
14.
crybaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
She does have
running,
her
I'm jumping,
voiceover.
so, and then she's going to school, she's a
She
layabout,
runs into
Always.
she's all tired.
boys.
Always tired. Always sleepy.
She's an average kid, and that means you cannot be good at most school subjects, if any.
In Japan, it's even like, you can't just be average, you gotta be
You gotta be bad at something to be average.
Yeah, so let's compare her to her partner in spirit, Yusuke Urameshi, who is they're both lazy, but Yusuke's a punk.
Yeah.
And he's still 14, he still sleeps in, he still doing everything right.
I
But
will say, I think the word delinquent, just like
Yes.
there's a couple words, but the word delinquent changes between countries.
yes.
And I think for America, delinquent is like actively like just smoking and beating people up.
Yeah.
Yes.
The word delinquent in Japan is like you just kind of cut class or something.
Yeah. It's not even cut class, she's just a bum.
Yeah.
or like you're bad, or you're like
You get into fights a
you're
whole lot.
frequently
Yeah.
tardy or something.
She's just like sleep.
So she's running on her, relatable.
Um,
She's running on her way and she notices some kids doing some trouble.
Yep.
American delinquents, if you will.
well, it was like toddlers messing with a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't pick on animals.
Then, yeah.
Put a bandage on her forehead.
As James put it, it's all Shin-Chan and his friends.
Yeah, Crayon Shin-Chan gang was rolling up on Luna.
So she finds a cat with a bandage on her head. The
Yep,
cat
so
starts wigging out,
and she takes off the bandage, and the cat's like,
and she sees a bald spot,
Yeah.
yeah.
which I never saw it as that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what they always usually call it. Usually
Yeah.
just call it the crescent bald spot. But yeah.
I always thought it was like just her hair was colored that way, maybe,
Yeah,
or something.
for the Deke dub, I don't know what they would have called it. But,
I forget what they call it in the Deke dub.
I
but
assume
if
they
they
said
call
a
it
moon
if
or
they call it
something.
anything in the Deke dub.
They probably had to match a lip flap, but I assume most viewers saw it as like a birthmark or just
Yes.
an ordinary fur color.
I've seen it called a crescent bald spot.
Yeah.
In a lot of
That's
versions.
what they call it in the
of
manga,
this.
too.
So yeah, I think that's what they call it in the manga and stuff too. So
And said cat proceeds to jump off her head and do like a sick ass flip
a little flip.
onto
It's
a
like-
wall
like-
and walks
like-
away.
What's the? Oh man, I forgot the Ninja Gaiden Ryu
Oh, he
Hayabusa.
So, yeah.
just like does a backpedal animation, just does the complete the Ukemi.
yes. And she's like, "Well, that's weird. Oh shoot, I'm late again.
Oh god, I'm
I
late.
went from late to being super late."
Yeah, now I'm really
Yeah.
late.
So we see Michelle at school, and she's now standing out in the hall And
Yeah.
she's like, "Is that my fault all the other kids got to school on time?" So,
Yeah, she's a dumb kid.
That's true. It's not your fault they got to school on time, but however, if you were one of those kids. And then
So she decides to eat her lunch because she's hungry.
She skipped breakfast.
She skipped breakfast.
She should have ran out with the toast. Didn't she learn anything from anime
They're
protagonist?
showing you Usagi on an average day, which is bad. She doesn't like it.
And then she comes out, and then I was not the best student. Her teacher comes out and scolds her for eating her lunch, and then she pulls out her test results and listen, y'all. I was not the best student, but I have never made a 30.
30, yeah.
I don't know.
Anything.
Like, I've always been confused about anime when you have a character who's like getting zeros and 30s, but they can speak in complete sentences.
That's true, though, but also Japanese might have a different grading system, because I remember, back to Yu Hakusho, Kuwabara needed like a 50-something to pass.
To pass.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's not even remotely passing in America. And Japan is stricter, so I think their scoring is a little different.
I mean, I figure it's out of 100%, right?
Yeah. But I think their
I would
scoring is
assume
still a
so.
little different.
Because Umino got a 95.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Either way, she got a 30, bro.
Well, because I was going to say, math is pretty pure. Percentile translates very well. It's not. They don't do letter grade.
She said it's English.
Yeah.
And I think it is in the manga English as in her second language English. I don't think it's
Yes.
like in Japanese grammar.
Oh.
So I think she was taking the second language of English.
Oh, as a
Yeah.
course?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like U.S.
Which
English.
is something I would believe someone gets a 30 on, a foreign language
Yes.
course.
Yes.
And that's very interesting to hear in
And
the
there's
dub,
other
because you're hearing the dub spoken in English, and she said you failed your English, but we're supposed to take it as they're speaking Japanese.
Man, there was this fascinating arc of episodes in Black Lagoon.
Yes!
Where, you know the ones?
Yes.
They go to, because it takes place in a fictional, Philippines
Yeah.
style, like lake city of Moranapur. But then they go to Japan, and in the dub, you have the English actor speaking Japanese, and in the sub, you have the Japanese actor speaking English, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know.
It's really weird.
It's bonkers.
There's an episode of this show that's in. We'll get to eventually.
Oh, well, let's not quote any of that.
I'm not going to quote it, but I'm just going to say it's in season 3. And there's like these English people, and they're speaking English.
Are they English or are they American?
I think they're English,
Okay.
but I could be wrong. Either way, they're speaking English.
Yeah.
And she has trouble speaking English because she's speaking, Japanese. And so they go to this party, and she's all stressed out about having to speak English to all these English people at this party. And it's really
Is that
funny.
when she drinks the juice?
Yes, it's
Okay.
a really funny episode.
The juice.
But it's, the juice.
I've always been fascinated with these. With Yu Yu Hakusho again, there's like in a later season, there's like a game Kurama plays with someone where like the letters of the alphabet get erased, and I bet you they just erase like kana.
Yes.
But I want to know how the jokes translate.
Yeah, and so that's one thing I know. We'll talk about it when we get to that episode, I guess, more. But
Yeah.
one thing I noticed is it works in Japanese, that episode, but in the English dub, it's like, it doesn't work as well. Because it's like when you're talking English.
I think there's French speakers.
Later on, I'll pull up the
Either way, it doesn't.
Abenabashi American clip.
Oh
Yeah.
no, not a Benabashi.
Hey kids, you want a fucking hot dog?
God, that series was just so rough.
All right, well, this one is not for children. Cool.
I can edit myself.
I got the perfect edit sound for you. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anywho, so she's now outside crying with her friend Naru,
Yes, not
known
Molly.
as Wally.
Yeah, in the day.
You know.
Oh man, I almost miss Molly. From the how you doing, Sailor Moon?
What's Serena?
Oh, it'll be all right, Serena. It's like, oh God.
I miss Long Island schoolgirl, Japanese schoolgirl.
She's gonna die on this hill.
I know it's not great. I just
No, it's so awesome. It's like Joey
really
Wheeler.
funny.
You can't
Yeah.
hear him in another voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Brooklyn Rage.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
here.
yeah. There's something about Joey Wheeler.
That's my favorite Nickelodeon sitcom.
there's something about Joey Wheeler.
Yeah. Anywho.
So but no. Now Naru, not Molly, because we kept the Japanese names because it's 2014-ish when this is redubbed. 2011.
2014 was the
2014.
yeah.
And now everyone's mature. We got enough weebs to have the groundswell to
Yeah, we don't have to
Japanese
change their
names and treat with
names.
respect.
Naru, or as we call her, Weeb Molly.
And she's got a pretty ordinary sounding American voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's I like it.
Comforting poor Usagi, who's just like, I'm gonna get killed.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
I should have
How
studied.
It's like, why don't you
I
study?
should have studied more.
And then Umino, as we know, as Melvin shows up.
Melvin.
And he has changed it only in name. He's still got a super nerdy voice.
He's still drawn worse.
Yes,
or
yes.
more comically.
Yes, he is drawn in a lesser style. He's got his swirly glasses. He didn't study, so he only got a 95.
Yeah.
And Molly...
He likes to be a real jerk about it.
And Marlo's like, listen, dude, this is why you'll never get a girlfriend. You suck.
Listen.
I hate you.
Yeah. But, basically...
No, I think she only said you could be a little nicer, but...
Yeah, like, he's not being such a jerk about it.
Then we have the
Like she
usual
says.
stuff. Luna meets up. We're having our origin story episode, and she does the transformation.
Well, not yet.
No, not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Because we got to cheer ourselves up.
I go jewelry shop.
Yes,
Well,
they have a conversation about
first,
jewels.
Umino mentioned
yeah.
Sailor V.
This mysterious hero
Yeah.
has been going around named Sailor V, and she's been stopping petty crimes, like
Yep.
jewelry robbers and stuff.
Yep.
But Umino's like, yeah, Sailor V is cool. And they're like, yeah, Sailor V is cool and all, but jewelry's awesome.
Yeah.
And my mom has this big jewelry store.
I would rob for jewels. I get it.
Despite the fact my mother owns one of these shops.
And then they're like fascinating, like, wow, I want a diamond earring and ruby earrings
ruby
and stuff
earrings
like.
and a diamond ring, and yeah.
It's just
And
like,
then
my
Umino-
mom's having a sale because So Kelly, how often do you have conversations with your friends about going to the big jewelry store sale? Getting some jewelry.
I mean,
like
I guess about
14-year-old
I guess
girls.
about super into jewelry, maybe, but you know.
Maybe, jeez, but that's expensive,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a lot.
I don't know if you know this,
I mean,
but jewelry's
there's, like-
pricey.
I will say there's like mall kiosk style like level.
Of
jewelry.
course, you can get the cubic zirconium and all that.
But this
stuff.
was not that store.
No, this is a jewelry store. This is a jewelry store. Now we transition to the jewelry store. What's it called again?
Osapi.
Which is a reference to Naoki Takeuchi's editor, whose nickname was Osapi.
Yeah.
And so she named the jewelry store Osapi.
The jewelry store's
reference
got
to-
straight up madness. You got
Very much
schoolgirls, you got
natural
older
madness,
ladies, you
but-
got your stereotypical, which I guess translates to Japan too. Your big fat rich lady.
Yep. Yeah.
Who has every single jewelry that's
Yeah.
known to mankind on her.
Yeah, I remember her from Wind Waker.
The freaking witch of the waist is walking around buying a bunch of
She wanted joy
jewelry and
pins
stuff.
there.
Yeah, she wants her joy pendants.
But basically, yeah, we go in. They can't buy anything because they're broke ass kids,
Well, Naru might be able to, but Usagi spent all her allowance.
Usagi spent all her allowance.
so she can't afford
I
$30.
originally thought it was on the Sailor V video game, but apparently later we learned that's a new game. So she didn't spend all her money on the Sailor V video game, so I'm guessing, knowing Usagi, she spent it all on snacks
Probably.
and, like, comedy manga.
Probably.
Snacks
She loves
and manga.
manga. Yep.
So you're just your typical
We
average girl.
also we go down to the bad guys. We get to check in on these
So we're
villains
in-
of the
Where
season.
it's always arm day for Queen Barrel.
So Queen Barrel, we see her, I don't know if they established that's in Antarctica yet, but I'm pretty sure it's in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Oh, like at one of the poles of the Earth.
Yes.
Okay.
But she lives in a big skull. There's like a stairway going up.
Yeah,
to
I saw the
sky.
skull and I was like, oh, did Japan once again take alien influence in their background?
And Queen Barrel's there, and every time you see Queen Barrel, she's got a crystal ball, and she's laying back on her throne, and she's extending her long alien arms out, and she's constantly like rubbing her arms around the orb.
Moving her
and
arms.
our friend James discovered this when we watched it for the first time, but if you try to do that at the same time she's doing, it's a workout, dude.
The scene lasts for like 3 minutes, and like the
Yeah.
whole time she is like, even if she's off screen, she is like, magicking that ball.
Yep. The whole
And
time.
then, let's start the count. We get our first general, Himbo number 1,
Yep.
Jadeite.
Jedi.
He is
Played by you said
Blonde?
Todd Havercorn. You recognize his voice?
Who's a
Yeah.
fantastic voice
What else
actor.
has he done? I feel like I've
He's
recognized
done
him.
Natsu from Fairy Tail.
Fairy
He's
Tail.
done one of the Hitachin twins from Orin High School Host Club. I
He's
can't
done a
remember.
bunch of stuff.
Pick
Is
something.
he an FMA?
He's also in a new.
He
He is an FMA. He's Prince Ling.
Yeah, he's Ling
Prince
in
Ling.
FMA.
in
Okay, that's probably where I've heard him.
He's
Yeah.
also in a new
He's in a
one,
bunch of
Dragon
stuff.
something on Netflix
He's
in
that
a
I
bunch
know
of
of.
stuff.
He's in a bunch of
Princess?
stuff.
No, it's not the Dragon Prince. It's a different thing, Air Dragons or something.
It doesn't matter,
But he's in that one.
He's done a lot. Of
Yeah, he's in a
different
lot of
ones.
stuff.
Yeah,
He's one of those guys that gets
those are just the
around.
ones we know off the top of
Deep
our head,
Raven?
but he's done a lot.
And we only held her talk
Alan
for a
Walker.
second, but Lucy Hartfilia is Sailor V.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
But we couldn't, all she said was say. there.
she shows up
V.
later. Yeah.
So, Queen Beryl needs energy. She needs it for her master and to get revenge on something for someone. They're very vague. It's like these humans.
I
and
didn't
she's
know
like,
that. I didn't know there was a big bad behind Queen Beryl. That she had a master.
we don't know that yet.
Yeah, you find that out later. Yes, but yes. there
But
is
she's
one.
like, I gotta do an evil thing. She's like in a room full of guys. I'm guessing those are the Yoma or the monsters.
Yeah.
And then she calls her
sends
general.
Jedi to go collect energy so she can give to the
And
big
boy,
bad.
let me tell you something about Jedi. Jedi's got plans. And we'll go into them. Some are good, some are bad. This one's fairly good.
This one's fairly good.
All right, we're gonna trick him with jewelry.
He has some other plans, so you're like Jedi.
He's got some dudes.
Basically.
He's what we call him a himbo.
like, what is his plan?
Like
He's pretty, but he's dumb. He's pretty dumb.
Like,
I
are some of them
mean,
out of the
yeah.
Acme playbook?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, you'll see as we go. Some of his plans, you're like, why was this a good? All right, sure,
Yeah.
we'll go.
So his plan this time is to, I think he replaces Naru's mom with a monster.
Yes.
And I think the jewelry is enchanted to drain the energy
Yeah,
of the
drain
the
shoppers.
energy.
Yeah, easy.
Like I think they don't show it in the anime at all, but in the manga, I think they show like one panel, like her mom, like
Yeah.
Naru's mom, like tied up in the basement. So her mom is still alive. I don't think they
So-
ever show it in the
It
anime
was
though.
super not clear in the episode.
Yeah.
So Naru was like, don't worry about not having allowance, just ask your daddy's girl, ask dad for money. She's like, not with this grade, I'm not.
Not with a 30.
So she's like, I'm just gonna leave, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give up and go home and face my fate. And then she just looks at her paper and she goes to him, she's real upset and she just throws it away.
Yep. Throws it over her shoulder.
And then it hits the head of an 8-foot giant.
Who's taking a break from Vaporwave
Yes.
in his blazer
Mr. Vaporwave
White
himself.
blazer
and his
cool
single
glasses.
piece sunglasses.
Yes. So we see a gentleman in a black turtleneck with a green blazer and purple pants
Purple pants.
Yeah.
get hit on the head, and he's like, "Hey, what's your throwing things, bunhead?" Mm-hmm. And he looks it up. He's like, and he has the same response we all have: a 30. How? How did this happen?
Oh, how?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So he's not Darien. Is he Mamoru?
He's Mamoru.
He's Mamoru.
I don't think he introduced himself.
I don't think.
here.
Yeah, I don't think he says what his name is, but it's
Okay.
his mom.
It's way funnier in the manga.
Yeah.
Because he's wearing a tuxedo.
Oh yeah, he is wearing him. He is.
She's like, "Why are you wearing a tuxedo around?"
Yeah.
But he's just
really
wearing
funny.
his super vaporwave outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. Mamoru, I think, is like the guy who would be asking, like, those aren't jelly donuts at all, Brock.
Yes.
That's
Mamoru will say what's up.
Yeah.
Mamoru don't play around though.
But now we finally get home.
Usagi's like, "You're a jerk. I hate you," and he's like, "Whatever." And he's staring very intently at the jewelry store.
Yeah. He knows.
And so we leave. Well, he knows something, but we'll figure out that
Oh,
later.
right. The episode doesn't.
He's straight up wearing a tuxedo.
Still got the glasses though.
I love this panel that your finger's on. You're not trying to point out. It just says, nobody asked you.
That's what she says though.
Yeah.
She's also and then she goes home, and on the way home she gawks at a Sailor V video game. Ooh, neat.
She's like, whoa, is the Sailor V video game already?
So she had some. I don't think. Do you think Sailor V sees a dime from any of that?
Probably not.
No.
No.
She's a vigilante. She can't. She
Yeah.
I don't
can't.
think
can't
she's
play
any of
that.
that. No.
Okay. Well, she gets home and she talks to mom, and mom's like, "Hey, I ran into Umino, your friend, and he said you got your test results back." And it's like,
He got a 95. What did you get? And she's like,
Usagi's
God.
it's cold under the bus. Umino, when I find
It's
you,
pretty
you're gonna die.
standard. We are continuing on Usagi's no good, terrible, bad day.
I think we've all been there. We had to show a parent a bad report or something
Bad
like that.
grade,
It's
yeah.
like,
It's like,
sign this and bring it back. You make sure your mom signs it.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure your parents understand
Yeah.
what you're going through.
She gets kicked out because for some
You get
reason
thrown out of the house for bad grades.
until you focus or something.
No, she says until you understand what you did. Or something like that, yeah.
You can't live in the house no
Her
more.
younger brother, who
Who I'm sure we'll never forget.
Her younger brother is named Shingo.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think they say his name in this episode, but he
No.
is in the
No, it
other
actually
episode.
Well, it
does
shows
show
it
it
on
on the nameplate.
on the nameplate of the
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
It
it
says,
shows it
Does he
on
come up as a character or hostage in a later episode?
kinda.
In the first season a
The
lot.
first 2 seasons you see him a
Yeah, the
little
first
bit.
2 seasons you see him more. The later season when there's more characters and stuff, you tend to not see him as
Yeah.
Especially when Chibi is kind of takes his place as a
but
role
in the
to younger
first like
sibling.
1, maybe 2 seasons you see
Okay.
him a couple times. So,
So Usagi tries to Sailor V kick the door, and it's a great image.
Instead of a kick, it's a knee.
It's one of my favorite
Sailor V
images.
kick. Oh my gosh.
And
That
she
was hilarious.
and she gets hurt, and she's very upset. She's like, "Mom, just let me in, please."
Please let me inside.
So either her mom lets her in, or she shimmies up to her balcony and gets back
I
into
think
her
her
bed.
mom eventually lets her in.
And she's like, "I'm gonna take a nap instead of studying because I've learned nothing. I had a very stressful day.
A very hard day.
And then the cat shows back up. The cat returns.
Comes through her window.
Through the fucking window.
Yep. And the cat's like, "Sup?" And she's like, "Ah!
The talking cat.
A talking cat!"
She has the appropriate reaction to a cat when they.
For those who don't know, a talking cat is Kelly's favorite animal movie.
That's incorrect. Incorrect.
So she sees the talking cat,
And she starts freaking out, thinking that she's dreaming or hallucinating.
so she goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
And the cat's like, "All right, well, you're a layabout and you don't know what's up, so I'll bribe you." So the cat gives her a nice shiny brooch.
Ooh.
And she wakes up and she's like, "A gift for me?"
Oh, a gift. I like gifts.
Pretty. I didn't get my jewels today, so
Yeah, that's my
this one.
jewels now. So she puts it on her big old school bow.
She's
And
still
then,
a 14-year-old girl.
Luna is expositing. And she's like, "First off, this is not a bald spot, rude."
Rude.
And then she's like, "Listen, we need you to assemble a group of, we need to find these warriors and find our missing princess." And Usagi all this time is like looking in the mirror, like, like,
Yeah,
"Ooh,
just add her up, like admiring the necklace, like, that's so pretty.
Sick.
oh."
And Luna's like, all right. So you don't believe me. So
just say the words, like just.
say the words,
kid.
moon, prism, power, makeup.
Which she does with great delivery.
Make
Yeah, she's like, "Okay, I'll do it," because it's the first episode. We gotta get rolling somewhere. And Usagi it's kind of good. She's stupid because anyone else would be like, "You want me to do what now?
Yeah,
You want
exactly.
who with the Y and him?
Yeah.
No."
And then the very memorable and iconic transformation scene. Like,
Yes.
I gotta say, those colors, like, I think of Sailor Moon when I see anything remotely close to
And it
them.
looks great in high definition.
does.
yeah.
It looks so good.
It's very pretty. They did like good choice of colors, like the line art, like between the 2 layer, like the background, like really quick scrolling one, and the center much brighter one. It's just it's very aesthetically pleasing.
And then her torso shrinks and her legs grow.
Yeah.
That's just design. It's fine. I like it.
That's
it's a cool,
just the
lanky
design.
Would you say it feels more like it's off model, or like she's supposed to look prettier and more fashionable?
I think that's part of the transformation. I think it makes her look taller and a little bit older and things like that.
Because when I was
I
talking
think
about,
she looks more fit. I think it's like Shazam. It kind of makes you look like, not necessarily your strongest form, but a little more fit, a little more athletic. Because she's kind of stubby when she looks like Usagi, and she definitely looks.
She is like Usagi is
Like a
like
dumpy-
4.
like a dumpy
Usagi is
child.
like 4'11".
But she
She's
looks
really
more
short.
like not slender because Usagi's slender, but she looks like she just looks longer, more athletic when she's Sailor Moon, and I think that's part of like, oh, why does no one recognize her? She's the only one with. But I think that adds to it. I think she looks different. I think she looks a little bit older.
Yeah.
Like made from 14 to like 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
I will say, having watched this at some point originally between like the ages of 5 and 10, I did not, before or after viewing this, understand remotely anything about a woman's body. Not until later.
Bye.
So I was very good at suspending disbelief when I first watched it.
Absolutely. And of course, it was easy to watch this show as a little boy. As I said in the other one, it broke down a lot of barriers for me, just liking shows that it made me comfortable watching shows that were dressed as girls and stuff like that, and liking a lot of female protagonists. But being a young man and a bunch of girls in short skirts with long legs is not the worst show to watch.
That's true.
It's like, whoa. And of course, it was
How can they move in
I started watching it really a lot in '98, so I was like 9. So I didn't understand my feelings. I was like, wow,
girls.
This is pretty cool.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
Pretty girls.
Yeah.
I'm watching it because I like it when she gets bonked on the head and cries and stuff. I'm just watching to get her butt kicked. Yeah, that's it. I'm not watching this because I
I
think
will
she's
say
really pretty.
there's besides there's an element of it's not quite culture shock, but every now and then, just even if they don't draw attention to it, even in like the deep dub, if you'll see things on screen like school outfits, like we know nowadays that like that's not quite a school uniform because it's like they prettied it up for the show. She's got a nice bow.
Yeah.
The bow's really big and it's always like poofy. It's not like droopy at all.
Yeah.
Her sleeves are always puffy.
An ordinary uniform might be like something much more modern.
Yes.
The bow, if there is one, wouldn't be nearly as like fashionable.
Yeah.
And the skirt would be like past the knees.
Yeah.
Like
I think
all the time.
her
skirt is past the knees.
When she's not transformed, it's like
it's
pretty
longer.
neat. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, she only has the short skirt when she tries.
And the inverse is when
Sailor
like
Moon.
the guys have it, like their jackets are always open and they're like blowing in the breeze and
Yeah, and it's not quite so like dramatic.
longer and but so she is now transformed into Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. And Luna's like, you gotta go save the day, and
I go help
and now listen to the cries of your best friend.
her first power is her Odongo jewel starts
the
ringing.
only time she ever uses this power.
And she can hear across town in the shopping district that Naru's in trouble. She's getting strangled and she's got to go there. And there ain't no
quickly.
teleporting. Yeah,
Take the
run.
bus.
Go. Hop on the bike.
No,
They're wearing heels. It's fine.
we haven't taught you how to fly. you just got to go there.
Just gotta
You can't
go.
say they're teleport. The other ones aren't here yet.
Yeah.
Also, say they're teleporting like transit you across like the universe, not
It's fine.
not over the block. So
So she gets in, and of course, is
so we
overwhelmed.
get to the jewelry store. And
because
Naru's getting strangled by a raisin woman. She's like, I'm not your mother.
And meanwhile, while Usagi
I'm going to kill
meanwhile-
you. Then I'm going to kill your mother and send you to the land of the dead. And I'm like, that's redundant.
And meanwhile, while Usagi means well, I assume, this power was definitely thrust upon her.
Yes.
She is not ready for combat.
No.
No.
And
No.
not
Like,
ready.
I don't know how to fight.
Sailor Moon equips magical tiara with 0 hours of training.
So the one thing I don't understand is like when she first like introduces herself, like when they're like, "Oh, well, who are you?" and she's like, "Me, and then she goes into
Kelly,
a
do
long
the thing.
speech, and it's like, well, how is it that she knows how to do that speech? Is it because that it's just when she transforms, it just happens, or did she just come up with something?
Just,
Kelly, do the spiel. Do the thing. I know you know it.
I don't know if I know the whole thing.
Never mind.
I mean, I could do the,
Start it and then tell me what you're doing.
I'll shock you.
Yeah.
In the name of the moon. I'll punish you.
Anyway, she busts in, she does her big ass hero speech, and she's like, bam.
Because she changes it up a little bit every time. So it's
Yeah.
not always like
Spidey.
the end is
Yes.
always the same. The name of the moon, I'll punish you. But like the beginning part, she always changed it up a little bit.
I'm here to save the
Pretty
day.
Guardian Sailor Moon. Yeah.
You're going down.
Yeah.
And this woman's like, nice speech, dork. She drops down and she's like, I'm going to take you out, but I ain't going to dirty my hands. Hey, girls, the energies I've drained, get up and kick her butt, even though your energy's been drained. So I guess the
she's
energy.
She's controlling them.
Girl, girl, take a swipe. Old comic relief fat lady, do a sweep kick. Middle-aged office lady, break a bottle and attempt to stab Usagi.
Break the secret bottle of Jack we got hidden in the back. And stab this
Don't
kid.
talk to me until I've had my morning Jack and Jules.
Jack and Jules.
If you don't bring your Jack when you're going jewelry shopping, are you even jewelry shopping? Dead serious, they broke a bottle of liquor and started attacking Sailor Moon with it. It's like, whoa! Why do you have that?
So Sailor Moon starts freaking out, understandably. And then all of a
she's
sudden,
not ready for this.
No, and then all of a sudden, a rose just gets shot out of nowhere into the, and it sticks to the ground, which makes no
this
sense.
is an insane rose.
But
I am.
This is like one of Kurama's roses. This is nuts.
yeah.
And in the silhouette in the distance, we hear Spanish music
Spanish
playing.
music.
The Spanish guitar starts
The
playing.
Spanish guitar,
Maybe I zoned out.
And we see a man in a tuxedo and a mask.
top hat,
And he is named Tuxedo Mask.
tuxedo mask.
Masked tuxedo, get it right.
And he gives her the inspiration.
He's like, hey, I know you're just a kid and like this just started, but listen, Sailor Moon, I didn't know you were gonna be here, and I didn't know these guys were gonna be here. I was gonna do something else in this jewelry store, but now you're here.
Yeah, you can take these guys out. Believe in yourself.
You can do it.
and
Believe in
stuff.
you. Just study a bit. Don't get 30s on your papers. Just apply yourself, just a little bit, and you'd be amazed at what you can get done. And she's like, "You're right, mysterious hunk. Thanks."
Yeah.
And then
And then Luna tells her to throw her tiara.
and so she takes off her tiara and she says,
"Moon tiara action!" And
she throws it and she hits Raisin Lady, and Raisin Lady turns to Sand Lady. And she just turns into a
and then
pile of
all the
sand.
energy that the
That in another room dimension, I don't know.
all the energy they collected.
Your
just
boy
goes back.
Jedi's got an orb and it's like spinning around.
His plan failed.
His plan.
His great plan.
His plan has failed for the first time.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll get it right next time it's fine.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, I'm outie. The pile of sand disappears, and she's like, "Thank you, mysterious mystery man." He's
His
like,
hearts in her eyes, and she's like,
she's like,
"Whoa,
what a hunk!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I knew you could do it. Believe. Great job." And then he
Thanks for the help.
flips his cape. Yeah,
you
that's where the meme is
That's
from.
where
But
the
you didn't
meme
do
comes from.
anything.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, but you
My
didn't
work
do
here is
anything.
done.
And then he's like, but you didn't do anything.
That's where the meme's from. She doesn't say that.
No,
She
it's
instead
just
responds
the
with the
meme,
hearts in her eyes,
but-
like, "Whoa." And so it's the next day at school, and Nara's like, "You won't believe the dream I had. A new superhero named Sailor Moon came and saved me."
And a bunch of the other girls that were there at the store, too, were like, yeah, I had that dream too. And then you saw Augie's just on her desk, like, sleeping because she's
tired
taking a
from the
nap.
crime
She's
scene.
tired.
She ran all the way from home in heels to the crime scene, did the fight, and then ran all the way back.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, again, it's easy to look back on this and be unimpressed, but remembering that this was the first time
Yes.
one of these was out and became bigger and popular. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and even though it is like nowadays the standard average kid hero powers, first time, maybe some allies, maybe some foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But pretty safe first episode in origin story.
This is a-
Very low stakes opening.
There's a pretty good first episode. It pretty much follows the manga beat for beat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because this is a team show, but it starts off with just the first hero.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Now it is admittedly called Sailor Moon and not the Sailor Shenchi.
Yeah.
But it's a cool introduction. You get to meet Sailor Moon, you see what she's about. She's got a good heart. She's just a little lazy.
Yeah. She's
She's just a lot lazy.
lazy, a bit of a crybaby, but
Yeah.
she has a good heart.
And they do it real good, and that's the first episode. All right, gang. What do we think is best? Best thing about the episode?
Best part? Best favorite? Your favorite part?
Best part, best thing, best character, whatever. What is best?
I would say the part where there's a mention of Sailor V.
Okay.
And not just for like because I didn't even know about like the original run. Sailor V is like the proto Sailor Moon in reality.
Yeah.
There was like
She
originally.
just kind of added her into Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
It's a very good world building. It's very subtle world building.
It's a nice touch for someone to like build upon their past works. But the reason I like it is because there was a show called 100 that aired. I watched an episode of it, the first one, and I was like, and all the comments below it on the Crunchyroll site when that was still functioning for me was because you've seen it 100 times before, and it's an episode that is so lacking in vitality and originality. It's like, hey, we're going to introduce every one of the characters in this pseudo harem.
Oh no.
And this is much nicer because it's like it's still a pretty standard early version of the formula, back when the formula was new. But it's like, hey, here's the ragtag kids.
Yeah.
And Sailor V is like a little picture in the future. It's good foreshadowing. Like, here's one, and like let's say this was a show like now. Let's say this was a show nowadays. Instead of just having it be, oh, Sailor V is going to join the party. Maybe you meet Sailor V and it's like really disenchanting. It's like a don't meet your heroes kind of moment.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes.
And because I think putting little sprinkles into your very earliest first 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes is always great. I love it when I get to watch writing pay off in the future.
Yes.
And let's take your idea of maybe don't meet your heroes idea and put a pin in it for way later. For way later.
I've read some things about Sailor Moon as a whole. I might know what you're hinting at.
No, way later, like beyond the anime.
Okay.
But
You two can talk about this later
Sailor
on.
V exists as a hero for her to strive to be.
Yes.
It's like, wow, I can be like Sailor V.
Yeah, I think it's a really good element for writing when we'll talk about Toriyama again. Is like he didn't start writing Goku as an alien and Saiyans until Raditz was there.
Yeah.
That was like by the seat of, he did good for by the seat of his pants weekend deadline writing.
But she's had a lot of this planned. She was neurotic about making these characters and the ideas and stuff.
I'm trying to think of like writing where like that doesn't happen. Like I think between Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal there was like a retcon.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's strange because there really didn't need to be one.
Sailor Moon is actually pretty solid about that.
Yes.
So it's and that's gameplay's more important there, but it's I appreciate it way more when there's a well-planned story with really, really good intentional callbacks.
Let's let you and me have to talk about Silent Hill one day.
Oh boy.
But
and I guess if I had to pick a least favorite,
well, let's stick with best.
We'll go
What's
best. We'll go best.
I think my favorite scene would probably be her first transformation, Luna giving her the brooch.
Oh, that's good.
That's an iconic scene, Luna giving her the brooch and her transforming the first time, and I think that's my favorite probably.
God, I really like Jedi.
I love Jedi.
I love him, but that's for stuff later. So this is just
I love all the
here.
generals. The Shitano.
I'm gonna best actually just the opening. It's so classic anime. All she needs is a piece of toast running out the door.
Yeah.
It's classic. It's great. It's a great way to introduce. It's a good way. Heather, best?
Yeah, you like how much it started the trend? Yeah.
I think the best is just the interaction that she had with Luna. Like the first interaction.
Oh, the first one.
The first one, like where she.
That's her first hero moment.
Yeah. Like her first heroic moment was when she rescued Luna and was like, "Oh, you got those, under that," and it's just the connection that they had, just for
and then she was stopping from running to school to tell.
Right, but I mean, just like when they were staring into each other's eyes, it's like there's that connection. There's like it's gonna be more.
Also, how instantaneous it is. There's not a doubt in her mind, like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. She's like, hey, kids!
Yeah.
Get off my lawn! What are you doing? Yay!
You want to watch shows with doubt? Let's watch some Gantz.
Oh my god.
No.
Let's get sad up in here.
Let's get real sad this Christmas. What is worst?
I guess. I don't know, swirly glasses.
Swirly glasses is the worst!
Do we know?
Yeah, he sold her out. He threw her under that bus, dude.
Under the bus.
It's not that. It's just. I mean, I guess if we're on one hand, we can talk about these tropes as being there, like they're the first time, so they're not really tropes yet. On the other hand, God, he does not really bring much to the table.
Not yet. I think Umino will get a little. He's a nice comedic foil for Usagi for right now.
And it's the first episode, so it's easy and probably better, honestly, for people to do stuff that's less nuanced in the first episode. But yeah, he's not a treat to look at or listen to.
No, he's not.
Kelly, what is worst?
Maybe it's
hard
just
to say because it's the first episode.
I know it's the first episode, so it's so iconic. So it's hard to pick a worst thing. Maybe just the stuff at the jewelry store because it's just they do it in every version. I'm like, okay,
you're sick of it.
Yeah, we're doing this again. Okay, that's fine. But
all right.
So probably that. But really, it's all great.
Heather, what is worst?
I have to think.
I know it's hard to.
I mean, all in all, it's good. It's just, I think the worst part is how stereotypical it is. It's like, oh well, she sees him.
With Mamoru?
Yeah, she sees Mamoru and is like, oh well, you're a big idiot. And
I love that.
And knowing and us knowing we've seen it. We know who Tuxedo Mask is. She's like, oh, I love him. You don't even know him.
Well,
you can have a crush on somebody.
It's a fairy tale. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's just.
You don't know Chris Evans, but I'm sure you think he's attractive. Okay.
There's somebody else that you like.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just one of them. The other one is the jewelry store too. I don't like it when all of them are together and whatnot because it's it's this much. I'm like, oh god. Here comes the horde. Here's the horde.
I don't know if I'm going to change my answer, but instead, because Umino has a function, even if it's really basic as a character. Honorable mention, at least. when Tuxedo Mask throws the rose, does he actually like hit anything, or is
No.
it just to announce
But
himself?
it's between the monsters and
He doesn't do
Usagi.
anything.
Okay.
So I guess if the monsters still reached for Usagi, they would have gotten got.
Okay.
I guess he does
Yeah.
something because he inspires her
Okay.
to get off her butt and attack, but yeah.
Tuxedo Mask
guess-
has a lot more to do in the manga, and they don't
does.
really give him anything to do in the
It
anime.
would have been nice if he did anything but come in the window and say his name.
Now, you find out there's a reason he's at the jewelry store later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
That's
a
actually kinda
different
In the manga, they actually like tell you
They
he's looking
explain
for.
the reason
Well, we'll talk
why
about
he's
that
there
later.
because
When we bring it up,
if you
but-
think about it, like remember the part where Mamoru was just
I
standing
don't know
at
what
the
Mamoru staring at the jewelry store has anything to do with Tuxedo Mask.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
see what you were doing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mamoru
Why
had
would
big
Mamoru
old
be staring at the
tackling
jewelry store?
guy's shoulders.
Why don't I?
He was V-shaped like a swimmer. Tuxedo Mask is very slender, like the Slender
Why don't I
Man.
pull the curtain back on the bit here? I'm under the impression that Mamoru was there because he is Tuxedo Mask.
What?
I don't think so. Usagi likes Tuxedo Mask, and she
But
does
she
not
doesn't like Mamoru, so that doesn't make
There was
sense.
not a lick of lavender on Tuxedo Mask's outfit. No vaporwave at all.
And I believe that it's the first time viewers hint that there's some significance to Mamoru.
Maybe, I
Tuxedo
don't
Mask, on
know.
the
That's
other
kind of
hand.
a
Keep
stretch.
Mamoru staring at the jewelry store in your pocket.
Okay, but like all jokes aside, you're saying there is another reason he was there.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
talking about seed planting and things like that. Yes, there's a reason he is there.
Yeah.
Everyone that runs into Usagi, nothing's coincidental. Nothing's there just to set up this character. Everyone is going about their day for a reason, and the people she runs into,
Okay.
she runs into for a reason. It's very organic.
Okay,
It's very fluid.
I'll put a pin in that.
No Matoki. I thought we'd
Yeah,
seen
I
him
thought
first
Matoki
episode.
was in this episode because I think he's in the manga in
Or
the first
Andrew for
chapter.
the people who are playing from the
Yeah,
90s.
Andrew is the English name, but it's Matoki. He
is
works.
he?
He works at the video game.
Yeah,
The
arcade.
other guy. The other guy.
Yeah, he's
I
a
know,
blonde.
yeah.
He works at the video game center, and I thought you saw him in this
Jupiter's
episode.
boyfriend, let's
but-
be
I
real.
thought it was Crane Game Joe.
No,
that's
Crane
something
Game
else.
Joe is Brett, and he's something different.
That's something else. But yeah, Matoki. I thought he was in this episode, but I guess he's maybe
No.
I guess he's
it's
not.
different.
I'm gonna worst
So
banishing.
he is in the manga in the first episode, in the first chapter.
I'm gonna worst banishing your daughter to the wilds for bad grades. You are banished.
To the front yard and lesser shopping area.
The greater shopping district of the Shujinko district. I can't remember what it was.
Wait, I mean it was
Juban.
Juban Middle School.
Yeah.
So it's the Juban shopping district.
Juban.
Okay. He's like, you're banished. Get out. It's like, oh no. Usagi. All right, MVP.
Like character on
Yep,
Usagi.
MVP. Yeah, I think it's.
I-
So yeah,
I think
yeah.
Usagi's the
it's her
MVP
first
of this
hero
episode.
moment. It's her first time transforming the Sailor
Well,
Moon.
she's running late for class. She's having a bad day. She still stops to help a cat.
I was gonna say the only other ones that contending are like her, Luna, and Queen Beryl as far as important. as far as ones who I guess does she not do anything later?
No, she just wouldn't call her
does stuff,
MVP of the episode.
Oh, exactly. I'm just saying like
Oh, it's Jedi.
like-
in his plan.
Yeah.
does Jedi does he get cool later?
I think he's cool, but
I think
no.
he's great, but it depends on what you consider cool.
He does do hand-on combat
He
against the
does,
Senshi.
yeah.
Okay.
He does do stuff. He's
He
just
does
not the
do
guy who's
stuff.
like, send out the monsters.
Yeah, he does do stuff, but you'll still. Depends what your
Jedi's a
definition
dork.
of cool is. Like,
Are there any theming to the names of the monsters
Yes.
or Queen Beryls things like
And we'll get into
They're
that a
all-
little later, but they're all stones.
they're all stones. Like
Oh.
Jedi, it's like
Yeah,
Jade,
Jedi, Beryl.
Beryl's like a different stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all stones.
And all the other generals
They're
are
all
different, like
of the earth.
stones and stuff. Like I said, the manga,
Suck it, Steven
Naoka
Universe.
Takeuchi
I
is
think-
like all she loves all
I
the
think
different stones and she
Mamoru
loves astrology
means, like,
and
To protect.
Some of the-
means
of
to
the
protect.
earth or something like
Mamoru
that.
is Mamoru Chiba literally means defender of the earth.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I was pretty sure Mamoru is like a either conjugation or an unconjugated
Yeah.
form of the verb, like to protect.
Yeah,
His
it
name
means,
literally
like, to
means
protect.
protector of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, everyone who's wondering who Sailor Earth is,
It's because there's not a Sailor Earth. Mamoru basically takes that position.
Sailor,
because
quote, sailor.
and that's why
unquote, Earth.
story 4 is so awesome, and they need to tell it the right way.
it's true.
Okay, but we'll get into
we'll
that
get there.
later. But yeah, so episode 1's pretty good. I think we all MVP Sailor Moon.
Yep.
Yeah, stick around for the guest episode for Yashahime.
Oh God, that'll be its own thing.
Yeah.
Featuring my roommate.
Featuring Shutter Home Joe.
Shutter Home Joe.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna sign off, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
We'll think of a cool sign off at some point.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't
I
have
think
that
we
here.
should.
Yeah, I think-
It's
This is
fun.
Heather signing off.
It's morphin' time.
Wrong show.
Wrong show, but we will have
That's my sign off. I'm sticking to
a
it.
show comparing Super Sentai to Power
Mega Man,
Rangers.
jack in.
Execute!
Yeah, see, she gets it.
Goodbye.
I played like Mega Man Battle
Later.
Network 3. So.
Bye.
We need to go to my parents' house.
Hi everyone, thanks for listening. We'd love to hear from you. Our email is at prettyguardianpodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us at Twitter at SailorPGPcast, or our Tumblr is prettyguardianpodcast.tumblr.com. We'd love for you to send any messages to us, or either on Tumblr or on the email or on Twitter. We're a little ahead with our episodes, but we promise that we'll respond to any questions or any emails on the episodes when we catch up. So, until then, see you guys later.